Good morning. Today we'll discuss about DevOps introduction. Yeah, everyone joined. Yeah. See, let's say I have an IT organization to bring that company into top 10, top 20 place. What should I do? These are some things which I have to follow. So we are working on some um, applications that we should be delivered very fast. Whatever applications we are working on, that should be delivered fast. And at the same time, with high quality also. Faster delivery along with high quality. So without quality, even if you deliver that application, there is no use. So faster delivery with high quality and at the same time with lesser spending. You should not waste their money. With less spending, you have to give high quality output for them and you have to deliver the application fast with reduced outages. Reduced outages means like with less downtime of the application. The server downtime should be very less. Like you should minimize the downtime of the application. So if you're going to follow all these things, then you can bring your company into top 10, top 15. But how we are going to achieve all these things? Achieving faster delivery, achieving higher quality, less spending, reduced outages. These things we are going to achieve with a concept. Let's see what is that concept, how we are achieving that. So let's assume as of now, we don't have any application in India to book tickets for uh, train. Like, let's say I want to travel from Hyderabad to Tirupati by train. There is no Zomato, what is that, IRCTC application, no Paytm application to book the tickets for train. What we'll do then, we'll go to railway station, stand in the queue, book the tickets. Like 1 week before only you have to go to the station, you have to buy the tickets, reservation tickets. But railway minister, Indian railway minister, uh, he got an idea what he is thinking. There should be one application for our Indian passengers to book the train tickets from source to destination. Just by sitting in their home, they should book the tickets instead of going to the railway stations, standing in the queues. For that, we need to bring one application. He's thinking. So, can he develop this application? Is it possible for him to develop that application? He got that idea. Hmm. He cannot do because he's not a software engineer, right? He's a railway minister. He cannot do. He can pay the amount to bring that application. So what he did, he went to one IT company and he's telling all his requirements. I want this application for my passengers. Like every requirement he has given. No, this IT company manager, he is discussing with his teammates whether they can do this requirement and if they can do, how many days it will take and how much amount they need. So after discussing everything, they are informing to this railway minister, yes, we are ready to do this task and we need 1 year duration. uh, We need 10 crores for this task because all the team members who is working on this task, their salary should be paid by this minister only. So for that, the budget is around 10 crores, 1 year duration, and they are agreed. So if railway minister says, okay, yes, I'm okay with the budget, I'm okay with the duration, then they will start this task. If the person who is giving this task, what do we call him?
Client.
We call him client. And whatever the task he is giving, what do we call the task?
Requirements.
We call project. Your task is nothing but what project? What is our project here? To develop this IRCTC application. Okay. So this client is from Delhi. So we call this Delhi location as on-site. On-site means not USA, Australia. On-site means client location. Wherever client belongs to, that location we call as on-site or onshore. And offshore means this IT company is in Hyderabad. All the employees are working in Hyderabad. Then we call this location as offshore. Offshore means where we work. On-site means where client location, client stays. That is called on-site. And whatever task we are working on, that is called project. Till here, any doubts?
No.
Okay. Then our team started working on this project. First of all, what we'll do? First, we start on designing the application. First phase of this project is designing. We'll design here, means how application should look like, how many pages it should contain. Like initially, it should contain one login page, bottom sign up page. Then if you click on sign up, there should be registration page. You need to register your first name, last name, mobile number, email ID, your PAN card details, like everything, registration page. Once you are registered, then you can log in. Once you click on login button, then it should take you to welcome page, like home page. Here you can see like from place to place. You can select from Hyderabad to Tirupati. Like once you click on search, it will show you trains from Hyderabad to Tirupati on daily basis according to the calendar. And you want one more page, like once you select this, then it should ask for passenger details. How many number of adults, their names, details. Like you are going to design each and every page, how your application should look like. So without designing, can you work on the coding? Any project, anything, any application?
No.
Directly, we will not write the code, right? First, always we'll design the application. Once designing part is done, then comes developers. Developers start working on code. Manager will distribute the task. If there are 5 members in a team, 5 members developers are there, he will distribute the task to all the 5 developers. Sudarshan, you work on this login page. Shikhar, you work on registration page. Like for each and every person, they will distribute the task. Like there are ticketing tools like Jira, ServiceNow. They create tickets. Manager will create the ticket and assign these tickets to each and every developer. So accordingly, developers will start working on their code. Once they write the code, so coding is not you cannot do within one day. Like if they create the ticket for you today, you cannot finish this application by tomorrow morning. It takes time because they have to write the code. They have to test the functionality in their local machine, whether each and every page is working properly according to the design. Functionality is good. Like they will write the code. Once all the developers has written the code, let's say maybe they took 3 months or 4 months or 5 months, because there are not only these 4 pages, plenty of pages, front end, back end, database, multiple things will be there. So once everything is done, then the next stage is, can you guess what is the next stage?
Testing.
Merging the code and deployment.
Yeah, that's okay. Developers will push that code, but what after the code is written?
Testing.
Next comes build stage. Have you listened about build?
Yes.
Yes.
Any idea what is meant by build?
Whatever the code we have written, we should build and we can deploy it wherever, for example, AWS. So we can deploy it.
Yes.
Executing the code.
Correct. Build means it is nothing but it is a combination of compiling the code plus creating executable file. Compiling means what? As a developer, we write code in C language. Hash include stdio.h, import variable, printf, or in C++ or in Java, or any programming language you write the code. But this code is understandable only for humans. This code is not understanding for computers. Laptops cannot understand the code. Why? Because this is human understandable language. Computers can understand only binary code, means 0 1 1 0 0 0 1 0. This format only a computer can understand. Whatever the code we write, that code is a source code. We call it as source code. What compilers will do, even if you are aware of Java programming language, once you have written the code in Java, what we do, we compile. Once you compile the code, it will create one Java C extension. Any idea? Java idea on that? Nobody knows Java.
A little bit.
Okay, at least the compilation part.
Yes.
Once we write the code, we compile the code. Once you compile the code, it will create one more file,
Yes. .java.
.java C file. It will be created automatically. So this file, whatever the things present in this file, that will be understanding to the computer. So this is after compilation in binary, right? So in build is nothing but build means it will compile the code. After compiling, it will create one executable also. Executable means final end product, like .var application, like .jar. For example, we are developing IRCTC, right? So IRCTC.var or IRCTC.jar. Var means web archive. Jar means Java archive. If the code is in Java programming language, then it will create jar, Java archival, jar. So this executable file will be generated. Final product, we call it as final product. For example, uh, if you want to install Putty in your machine, what we do? Download Putty, Windows. I want to install Putty. So what I'm doing, I'm not contacting to Putty company. Please give me your source code. I will collect that source code, whatever the developers written the code for Putty. No, I'm not asking any code. I'm asking the final end product. So this is the final end product I'm downloading. It is downloading. What should I do next? Once the executable file, once it downloaded, this is the executable file. To install this, what I have to do? I have double click, right? If I double click on this executable file, it will execute. It will install in my OS. I can start using this application. So that means whatever developers has written the code, whatever they did testing, everything is inside this file or not? Tell me. Final end product idena kada?
Yes.
Yes.
Whatever the code they have written, whatever the build, they created executable file, they test that application. Once they seems, yeah, Putty is absolutely working fine. Then they kept that final executable file in their browser. That's what we are downloading and we are installing in our local machine. So it is not a normal file. This file is the final product after certain stages like designing Putty, writing the code for Putty, doing build, performing test cases. Then they kept this one. We downloaded that where we can install this executable file in our local machine. Okay. So similarly, build means here it will compile as well as creates executable file. So what after build? Which stage comes after building the application? Testing.
Testing.
So here testing team, they performs test cases. This is purely for testers. Yeah, what they will do, they will collect the code, whatever written by developers. They already write some hundreds of test cases. Test cases means, for example, test case one, check login page. So in login page only, they'll do different types of testings. For example, username, password, login button. So in this page only, one kind of test case, what they will do, without giving anything, blank data. They will not type in username, they will not type password, and they'll click on login button. If it is taking you to welcome page or not, it is not taking, it is throwing some error. Please enter username, password. Then this test case is working fine. If that is not, if it is not throwing any error, you just clicked on login button, but it is not saying anything, and it is not taking you to home page also. Then that is wrong, right?
Yes.
It should show some error like please enter username. Okay, one more test case. They have written username as 1234556, password 1234556 something. Then it has to throw error again. What is that? Invalid username. Like these kind of test cases, they'll write some hundreds of test cases. If each and every test case is working fine, then the testing team will say, yes, the application is looking absolutely fine. You can go ahead. So this testing team has to say the final thing. Okay, you can proceed further, or again, you have to work on the functionality, right? Once testing team say, go ahead, then after that, QA team. Here, what is meant by QA?
Quality assurance.
Yes. Here, this team will check the quality of your code. I'm asking two persons to write code for printing welcome, hello world. So, hello world, I'm asking to print this statement. So one person has written the code like a hash include in C language, hash include, he is declaring variables, printf. He has written the code in 10 lines. One more person writing the code in Python or C or whatever, direct printf hello world. in Python directly you can give printf hello world. In one line only they have printed this statement hello world. Here it is taking at least 1 second to compile the code. It is taking just 10 milliseconds only to compile the code. So which one is working effectively? So both are giving you output, both are correct only. But which output is fine? Like which code is having good quality, which is working effectively? That is also very important, because some programs will have 1,000 lines, 1,500 lines. It may take 30 seconds also to compile. So if you reduce the number of lines to print the proper output, like if you write the code, same code in 50 to 60 lines, then that is a good quality. This team will check the quality of your code. Understood?
Yes.
Yes.
So finally, these all teams are responsible for developing this application. Finally, all these teams has developed the application. So these all teams, so these are all under development side only. If you give this application to railway minister, you take this file, enjoy means what he will do? Will he do anything if I give that file to him? Everybody in India should access this IRCTC application. If I share this IRCTC.war to that IT minister, railway minister, can he do anything?
No.
Will he understand? We developed the application, take this file means no, you don't know anything. What should I do with this? He'll say. So next comes which stage?
Deployment.
Operation.
Operations team, or you can call admin team, whatever. So this operations team, what they'll do, they'll take this file and they'll do deployment. Deployment means in this stage, this operations team guys, they will take this file irctc.var and deploy this application in servers. In number of servers. Let's say if this application is accessing by 1 lakh people. Okay, the range there are 5 1 lakh people will access this application. So accordingly, in that number of servers, like 50 servers, they'll deploy. No, this is a wide range of application. It will be very popular all over India. The application will be accessed. Maybe 1 crore people can also access. Then in that case, they will not deploy in 50 servers. They'll deploy in 200, 300 servers also, because the usage will be more, right? So who will handle these things? As a developer, he don't know anything. How many servers should be required to deploy this application? How much traffic will come? No, they will not have any idea. Who will handle all these things? Means operations team. Operations team will decide what kind of infrastructure is required, which servers we have to launch, how much configuration, like how much RAM, how much storage has to be taken for the servers, how many number of servers are required. So this infrastructure things are taken care by this operations team. So they'll do deployment in the servers. Once they deploy the application, then they'll hand over this to monitoring team. Monitoring team, always they monitor 24/7 the application. They come in morning shifts, evening shifts, they'll see the application, whether it is working properly or not. If at any certain point of time, storage is exceeding, like storage is almost crossing 95%, then accordingly, they will increase the storage, they'll work on it. They'll increase the storage or they'll remove unnecessary files, logs. So monitoring team means they just sit in front of the system. They'll see different types of metrics, whether RAM is okay, working fine, storage is working fine, different types of metrics, database is okay, working fine. If anything is exceeding, if that is disk is completely filling the disk, then accordingly that metric, for that particular metric, they will troubleshoot and they will resolve the issues. Next, maintenance. Maintenance means here two things. One approach is, finally, as a IT company, what we do, see minister, we have developed the application. This application is working fine now. All over India, people can book the tickets. Now, you take care of this application. We are handing over this to you. You hire 3-4 software employees. You take care of your application. So one kind of maintenance is that. If we say no, we cannot do maintenance, you only take care of maintenance also. We pay amount for that also, means we will take care of maintenance. Maintenance means what? So project is done. Project is completed. People are accessing IRCTC application. Now tell me, today, so we already know this IRCTC is launched some many years back. If today this IRCTC is not working, you're typing www.irctc.com, but that is showing this site cannot be reached. Then who can solve that issue? Whether this politicians, railway minister, or the IT company only will solve.
IT company.
IT company only, right? Whoever developed that IRCTC application, if still they are maintaining that, then they will only take care of maintenance. They will troubleshoot and they will resolve the issue. If that is handed over to this team, government, if that is a government application, then government side officials, like government side employees, software employees only, they will take care. But he don't know anything. Even if you see banking applications, if you go to State Bank, HDFC Bank, you see there are different types of applications. If you want to deposit money, they will enter your account number, they will deposit. But while doing some process, if the application is down, will the SBI bank employees or SBI branch manager will resolve that application issue, or the software developers?
Software developer.
Obviously, software developers. Bank employees, they don't know anything. They just open that application, they blindly follow what details they have to enter, next, submit. how to work with that application, but how the application works, back end, the coding part, everything, they don't know anything. Okay, so everything is handled by the software team only. So this comes under maintenance. Even after handing over the project, if there are any issues, if still you are taking maintenance, then it's our issue. They'll raise tickets immediately. That's from State Bank. If you like according to that scenario only, in that State Bank application is down, then immediately they'll raise one ticket, level 1 ticket. If it is high severity, like they increase the levels, level 1, level 2, level 3. Accordingly, they'll midnight also they have to, this support teams, they have to work immediately midnight also, because to resolve the issue, it is a high level severity. They'll raise blocker tickets like that. Understood? So finally, after 12 months, end of the 12 month, we handed over the project. So you take any project in this world, these are the stages. Starting design, code, build, test, QA, deployment, monitoring, maintenance. So all these stages we have to follow. Any project in the world, you get any project, again, you start from designing only. Directly will not do deployment. So this process, whatever we discussed here, what do we call this? Any idea? It's software development life cycle. SDLC. Software development life cycle. It is a life cycle, like from this stage to this stage, from coding to building, like all these stages we are passing. So this approach, whatever approach we followed here in software development cycle, this approach we call as waterfall method. This method is waterfall method. But nowadays, no project is working on waterfall method, because in waterfall method, we have some drawbacks. Drawbacks means here, what is the first drawback? For example, client has given the requirement. In the 4th month, see, you are working on designing part is done, developers are working on the coding. In the 4th month, this railway minister went to the IT company. He's asking for some modifications. In the payment page, as of now, according to our requirement, we are giving net banking details to pay the ticket amounts. Can you introduce QR code option, UPI payment method option? Because recently, last month only, Phone Pay, Google Pay introduced in the market. They launched in the market. So we can utilize these apps also. We can utilize UPI ID QR code. He's suggesting. But this IT company will not take his suggestions, because this is waterfall method. Your requirements has to be given initially only. You cannot come in the middle and you cannot give requirements. You cannot give more changes. You cannot enhance. Whatever the initial requirement is there, accordingly to that requirement only, this team will start working on this project. So it will be a huge drawback. No requirements in middle. Understood this first drawback?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And see, development team, after developing the application, irctc.where they handed over to operations team. What this operations team is doing, they're doing deployment in client server. They're deploying the application in Windows servers. They're deploying in Linux servers. And they observe application is working properly in Windows machines, and it is not working properly in Linux machines. So they call to developers. It is not working fine in Linux servers. It's working fine in Windows, but somehow it is not working in Linux. Can you check your code? They are asking. What these developers are saying, we already tested in our machine in Windows OS, in Linux OS. It worked properly in Windows as well as Linux. Maybe you're not deploying properly in Linux. You check from your end. You didn't configure the things properly in Linux. So that means what? Miscommunications between developers and operations team. There is no proper communication. So this is also a huge drawback between, because until the development is done, operations team like having no idea about the application, what they are doing, what like what is this about, like how much configuration we have to take, what, like they don't have any idea. So here no communication between development team and operations team. This is very, very huge drawback. And delivery of application is slow. See, they agreed for 12 months. They are giving this finally for 12 months only. Sometimes it may delay to 15 months also, 16 months, 2 years also. Even this 12 months also very slow only. Why? Because until designing part is done, developers will not have any work. Until the coding part is done, build team will not have any work. Until build is done, testing team will not have any work. QA team will not have any work. Until this all is done, these teams will not have any work. So it is dependent on each and every stage. So it's becoming slow. The work is becoming dependent, and teams are depending on each other, and it is taking more time. This testing team cannot do anything until the developers has written the code. So you cannot blame testers here because developers may delaying the development. We cannot blame testers. Similarly, each and every stage is depending on the previous teams. So that's why here delivery also becoming slow. So to address these issues, whatever we are facing in waterfall method, we have a methodology. What is that?
Agile.
Yes. Agile methodology. Agile. So this agile concept, in agile concept, similarly, we got IRCTC application, same client. But the difference is this IT minister, this railway minister will tell, I will give sprint for every 3 months. Sprint means nothing but here requirements. Initially, I will give sprint 1. You finish this sprint 1 in 3 months. Then after 3 months, I will come with one more sprint. Sprint 2. Like that. They will do agreement for 3 sprints or 4 sprints. And according to the sprints, this team will start working on it. Here in sprint 1, what is the client requirement? Is asking for IRCTC application, login page, registration page, home page, to book the tickets from place to place, and finally payments. So everything, all the requirements he has given in sprint 1. So according to that requirements, so designing the application is done. Then coding, build, test, QA, this all teams started working on it. And in the finally, it took 3 months. They'll work this sprint 1 within 3 months only. This is like deadline, target. They cannot extend. They should work in day and night also to finish this sprint within the 3 months. Because after 3 months, immediately client will send new sprint. He will send all the details to BA. So in this sprint, again, they're giving some more requirements. Like he's asking for allow Google Maps to trace nearby locations. This is one enhancement he's asking. So he's not giving a complete new requirement. He's giving some enhancement for the applications. In the whatever ideas they will get, they will come with that ideas in the next sprint, like this one nearby location. And he's asking for UPI ID, paying ticket amount through UPI ID, through QR code, through phone pay, through GPay, Paytm. He wants to introduce all these UPI payments and digital payments along with net banking. So for this also, they have to design or not? Tell me, if for this requirement, designing untada undada?
Yes.
Yes.
Designing అనేది ఉంటుంది. Even though it is a UPI ID, where they has to introduce this UPI ID section in payment page. If you observe different applications like Flipkart, Amazon, Swiggy, Zomato, Myntra, different normally, or any other application in payments page, each and every page, the designing will be different for payment page lo UPI ID, QR code ano, cash on delivery, net banking. The way they design will not be same in each and every application. They will design in their own methods, own ways. So for this also you'll have again designing part. Again you have to write the code. ఇక్కడ కూడా కోడ్ రాయాలి. ఈ యూపీఐ ఐడిని మనం ఇప్పుడు యూపీఐ ఐడి లైక్ ఇట్ హ్యాస్ టు ఇంటరాక్ట్ విత్ డిఫరెంట్ బ్యాంకింగ్స్. హెచ్డిఎఫ్సి బ్యాంక్ యూపీఐ ఐడి ఉంటుంది, యాక్సిస్ బ్యాంక్ ఇంకో బ్యాంక్. సో ఆ బ్యాంకింగ్ తో ఇంటిగ్రేషన్, like here also they have to work for coding related. What is this next? Build, testing, again QA. So finally if they check the sprint 2 is working fine, again a friend of the 6th month, again client is coming with one more sprint 3. Here is asking for some more enhancements, like he want to introduce like recently this option also came, like food delivery option, Zomato, Swiggy. Like if you go to, you started from Hyderabad to Tirupati, you want to you want to order the food from Zomato or Swiggy. In the next stop, they will deliver. Have you listened this new requirement? Recently, they launched this. Recently, one month back only. Are you aware of this? By traveling the train only, they can order the food. In the next station, like if you are in the 3rd station, if you order the food, in the 4th station, that Swiggy boy will come to your platform, where your bogie will be there. He will hand over that food to you. Are you aware of that?
No.
No idea.
No.
This option recently, very recently, by traveling in train also you can order the food. So these kind of new requirements will come. So it's not like you have to give all the requirements in the first attempt only. No, see, Zomato or Swiggy, this is launched, or IRCTC, this is launched some years back, but still enhancements are going on. It is not ended with the first attempt only. Every 1 month or every 5 months or 4 months, you will see new versions, new enhancement. Functionality will change, design will change, right? So here they added more requirements. Again, accordingly, they'll work on designing, code, build, test, QA. Finally, they'll deploy the application. This sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3, finally they'll deploy. So at end of the 12th month, they're delivering the application. So they're deploying the application, and finally users all over India access the application. Here we address the first issue. What is the first drawback? Here, no enhancements in middle of the project. There is no project నడుస్తుండగా middle లో enhancements అనేవి ఏం తీసుకోరు, requirements ఏం తీసుకోరు ఇక్కడ waterfall method. But here requirements are receiving, right, after 3 months. For every quarter they are giving a new requirement. So here you can enhancements are coming, right? Here what is the other drawback? No communication properly with development team and operations team. That we are addressing with stand-up calls, or you can call it status calls, scrum calls, like different terminologies we use. Like every day they used to set up the status calls every day. This status call should be attended by all members in the team, all developers. Go on mute, Suresh. Suresh, please go on mute. Yeah. So in this status calls, all the team members, including developers, testers, the admin team, I mean operations team, monitoring team, maintenance team, like whoever working for that project, everybody will attend this call. They has to give their updates, like yesterday, what you have worked on, what is your current update. Like developer once, yeah, yesterday I worked on a login page, currently it is in progress, it is showing some errors, I'll work on that errors today. Like he'll give his update. One more person, testing team, or different persons, like operations team guys, like I have set up the environment, I integrated Jenkins, that this, like he will tell his updates, everything. If there is an issue, then manager will say, okay, you both of them work together, you try to resolve that issue. So here, team collaboration is there. If you attend stand-up calls or status call, everybody in team will get to know what's the progress, where the work is, who is working on what. Everyone will have awareness, like what's going on in the project. If there is no status call or stand-up call, you don't know where the work is going on till you don't know the updates. And within how many days you are going to finish the project, we don't know anything if these calls are not there. So here also, we are addressing that issue. Communication gap issues we are addressing by the status calls. Are you aware of these calls? Anyone in your company?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And the final one is like fastest delivery. Still, we are not addressing this delivering the application. We're not. See, even though sprint 1 is done, we're not delivering here. Sprint 2 is done, we're not delivering. Finally, after end of the sprint 3 only, we are delivering the application and we are deploying the application. So still, we have issues. Still, we are not deploying the application fastly. So to address this issue also, we have an advanced methodology called DevOps methodology. Okay. So in DevOps methodology, the DevOps is nothing but it is a combination of development and operations. See, in development, you see dev. In operations, you see ops. So DevOps engineer. DevOps engineer means this person should have knowledge on development side. This person should have knowledge on operation side. DevOps is nothing but it is a combination of both development and operations. He's like all-rounder. He's not completely into development, not completely into operations. He's an all-rounder. The first advantage of DevOps engineer is earlier we used to have separate build team. Build team is separate. If there are 2 persons working for build team, company is paying salaries like 1 lakh for this person, 1 lakh for this person every month. And here operations team for deployment 2 persons, 1 lakh, 1 lakh. Maintenance 1 lakh, 1 lakh. Monitoring 1 lakh, 1 lakh. So overall, like how many persons? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people are there who is working for build team, development team, monitoring, maintenance, all this. Now what management is doing? Management is removing all the build team, deployment, everyone they are removing. They are hiring only 2 or 3 people, hardly DevOps engineers. And they're increasing salaries for DevOps. Like here, for each person, if they're giving 1 lakh, here they are giving 2 lakhs. 2 lakh, 2 lakh, 2 lakh. Every month they're paying 6 lakhs to these 3 persons. Earlier, here for 8 people, they used to pay 8 lakhs. Now, it is a saving for the company or not? Tell me.
Yes.
Yes.
Earlier, 8 resources are there. For 8 resources, they used to pay salaries, but now they're hiring only 3 resources. And it is benefiting for these people also. Here they are getting huge salaries and it is saving for the company also at the same time. There are less salaries, company also no savings. Right? Now, this DevOps engineers work, what they has to do. In DevOps also, we receive the requirements in the form of sprint. Let's say we received first sprint 1, we received the requirements and immediately designing teams started working on designing the application. Then next comes developers working on the code. Developers has written the code for sprint 1. After writing the code, what they will do, that code is in their office laptop. Developer 1 written the code in his laptop, developer 2 written in his laptop. If 5 developers are there, their code is in their 5 laptops. But finally, what they have to do, they have to push that code into one tool called source code management tool, like Git. Developer 1 will push his code to Git, developer 2, developer 3, developer 4, developer 5. Everybody will push their code from their 5 laptops to a common platform. Just like, for example, a group of people, 5 people went to some picnic or somewhere. Person 1 took photos from his mobile. Second person also took photos in mobile. Third person also all of them took photos in their mobile. So he's asking to share. He has to share to second one. He has to share to third one. Instead of that, they got an idea. See, I'll create a folder in Google Drive. Everyone will upload it here, so that it is like a common platform or not for everyone. First person, second person, third, fourth, fifth, all of their photos are merged in a common platform. So it's like a whole thing. You can see all the photos in a common place. Yes or no?
Yes.
So similarly, all the developers, finally, they're pushing their code to a platform called source code management GitHub tool. So who is going to set up this GitHub? Who will install GitHub? Who will create the branches? Who will create the account configuration? Everything is handled by DevOps team. Developer is not involved for setting up this tool. Okay. Developer part is to push that code. మరి ఈయన కోడ్ పుష్ చేయాలి అంటే ఇది ఆల్రెడీ సెటప్ అయి ఉండాలి కదా. ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? అంటే ఇక్కడ ఈ కేసులో గూగుల్ డ్రైవ్ అంటే అకౌంట్ జీమెయిల్ అకౌంట్ క్రియేట్ చేసి గూగుల్ డ్రైవ్ లో ఒక ఫోల్డర్ క్రియేట్ చేసి యాక్సెస్ ఇవ్వడం లాంటిది ఇక్కడ గిట్ హబ్ క్రియేట్ చేయడం అంటే. సో this DevOps engineer will set up this GitHub so that developers will push that code. Okay. So once developer push that code, then immediately there is a tool called CI/CD tool. The tool name is Jenkins, Continuous Integration, Continuous Delivery. Who will be installing this tool? DevOps engineer will set up. He will install and he will integrate, set up this tool. So this tool will be integrated with build team. Build కూడా ఒక tool ఉంటుంది like Maven. So once developer push their code from their local machine to GitHub, ఇది వీళ్ళు code push చేయగానే Jenkins will receive that code. It will pull that code and Jenkins will send that code to Maven. So who will set up this Maven build tool? DevOps engineer. Who will set up Jenkins? DevOps engineer. So this automation, like whenever the developer push the code, immediately Jenkins is pulling that code, sending to Maven. What Maven has to do? Maven has to compile the code and it has to create one executable file, .var.jar file. So once it creates the executable file, then Jenkins will send that code for testing tool like Selenium or whatever testing tool they integrate. It will send that code for testing tool. Now here comes testing team. Here there is no involvement of DevOps engineer. Completely testing team will take over. They will perform all the test cases like manual testing or automation testing, like whatever. They do all the test cases. If everything looks fine, then Jenkins will send that code for QA tool like check style. Here these tools perform the code quality check, like whether the code is correct or if having any performance issues, quality is not good, it will check. Then later Jenkins will this deployment tool like Docker. So Jenkins will send that code for deployment tools like Docker. We have different types of deployment tools like Docker tool, Kubernetes tools, or Ansible. Like these tools, it will send. So what it will do means it will deploy the application in Docker containers. Once the application is deployed, then monitoring the application. For monitoring also, like we have integrated like different monitoring tools like CloudWatch, Datadog, Nagios, like different types of monitoring tools are there. Prometheus, alerting tools. Prometheus is like monitoring as well as alerting tools. So it will take care of monitoring the application. And as a team,
Aravind, Splunk is also monitoring tool.
logs, you can check the logs there in Splunk. Okay. We have Grafana. Grafana is for visualization, to see the things in visual format. So here monitoring means earlier we used to have separate monitoring team. అంటే monitoring ki oka 3 persons ni hire chesukune vallu. You come in morning shift, you come in evening shift, you come in night shift. You sit in front of computer for 6 hours, you sit for 6 hours, like they distribute the work 8 hours. You have to see if anything is went wrong. Like if the storage is completing like almost 90%, it is reaching, then you inform to the other team members, like developers or someone you inform, they will work on the issue. Like they has to monitor manually. But now everything is taken care monitoring by tools only, like CloudWatch tool, Datadog tool, Nagios tool. These tools will monitor and they will send the alerts accordingly. If you set some threshold value, if it is crossing 60%, then it will immediately send one email notification or something to alert you. Accordingly, you will troubleshoot and you will resolve the issue. So as a DevOps engineer, on sprint 1, we are going to set up everything, and finally the deployment also done. For the first sprint, in the 3rd month itself, deployment also completed. Then later, again, in the 2nd sprint, same, you will have this entire setup. You will have this entire setup: GitHub, Maven, CI/CD, Docker, Selenium. This setup will be there. Again, what they will do as a DevOps as a developer, for the 2nd sprint, again you started designing, then you are writing the code and pushing the code. Then immediately Jenkins will pull that code, send for Maven, send for Selenium, send for Checkstyle, then Docker, again monitor. 2nd sprint is also done. Again, next they work on 3rd sprint. Again, design code, push the code, it will pull the code, send for Maven, like this. So the difference between waterfall method, agile methodology, and DevOps methodology is, in waterfall method, everything has separate teams.
Aravind?
Mm.
Yeah, I have one question here, like this Marvin, right? Which pulls the code from like developers, right? Jenkins, sorry. Hello?
Jenkins will only send the code to Maven.
Okay. Then this sending the code and deploying, right? This will be done in a real-time production environment, or is there any test environment will create, and there they will do this, and later they will deploy into production?
So in any project, you work on any project, there are different types of environments. They'll create different types of environments. ఇప్పుడు ఏంటి అంటే ఇప్పుడు డెవలప్మెంట్ చేసి ఫైనల్గా అప్లికేషన్ డిప్లాయ్ చేస్తాం, రైట్? We deploy the application. First, we do that in like non-prod environment, non-production. You can keep different names, non-production, or you can keep dev environment or SIT environment, UAT environment. ఇవేంటి అంటే టెస్టింగ్ పర్పస్. All these environments are testing purpose. Once you confirm, you deploy the application and you're working on this application internally within your project only. You're working in that application. Okay, you can able to book the tickets, you can able to see payments, everything is working fine. Then you will push that code, everything, into production, which we call as live environment.
Yeah,
Once
that
you
is
push
what
that
I'm
code,
asking. Like this process will done in one of the test environment, then later in the production, or this thing only directly going to
no,
product?
no, it will be done in all the environments, not only in production.
No,
This
no.
will be in dev environment, no production, non-production, like lower environments as well as higher environments. You can set up this infrastructure in all environments, lower and higher end. Because see, without setting in lower environments, if you do this directly in higher environment, who is responsible for that if something went wrong?
Yeah,
Higher environment is something which you will replicate. Whatever you do in lower environments, if everything is working fine, then exactly you will replicate in higher environment. Here you will not do any scientific researches here in production. Whatever you do, same thing, if that is working fine, you will replicate in production also. Okay?
Yeah, then this DevOps team will do setup for all the environments, not only
Yes, DevOps team only will do.
will do all the environments which
Yes,
they
yes.
actually they follows their system, right?
Yes.
Aravind, actually, I think Nagi's question is like, whenever we push the code, right? So, Nagesh, I think DevOps team, they will set the code is pushed to only, lower environments. Whenever we are good with all the things, then only they will push to, production based on the release date.
This production will not happen on regular basis, like weekly, monthly. No, there will be certain date. On that particular time only, we'll push the code to production, live environment. That too after the working hours only. So generally, we mostly work on lower environments, like continuously. Once finally, like we'll skip on it, like yearly 3 times or 4 times, rarely. Depends on some projects also again. So regularly, we'll not push to production. Nagesh, so whatever your question is, like, am I cleared your doubt?
Yeah. And the Jenkins only the interface between these tools. It didn't do anything, right?
It will only do everything. Without Jenkins, there is no involvement between one tool to another tool. Jenkins is like, it is a common for all the tools. See, Git is also integrating with Jenkins, Maven integrating with Jenkins, Selenium integrating with Jenkins, QA with Jenkins, Docker with Jenkins. If you don't have this CI/CD tool, then there is no DevOps. CI/CD means what? Continuous integration, continuous deployment. So this Jenkins is only like important thing out of all the tools, because each and every tool is integrating with Jenkins. Jenkins is receiving, sending here, receiving, sending here. Like it is like most important one, Jenkins.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So finally, here we are achieving this faster delivery also in DevOps. Why? Because with these tools, we are deploying the application as soon as possible. Once the developer push the code, immediately, as soon as you push the code, immediately Jenkins will pull that and send to Maven. Like, why the development is becoming fast? Because here it is rectifying the bugs also fast. So what are the bugs you identify in build, that will be rectified and informed to developers. Developers will fix that bugs and they'll push the code again immediately. And the build will happen immediately, testing will happen immediately because of this CI/CD Jenkins. Right? So that's development also becoming very fast. Finally, we're delivering application also fast because of these tools. And if you see here, definition for DevOps. DevOps is not a tool. DevOps is not a coding. DevOps is not a programming language. DevOps is a methodology. It is a culture. అంటే మెథడాలజీ అంటే ఏం లేదు, మనం ఫాలో అయ్యే ఒక ప్రాసెస్ అనమాట. సింపుల్గా చెప్పాలంటే డెవాప్స్ అనేది ఒక ప్రాసెస్ని ఫాలో అవుతున్నాం. ఆ ప్రాసెస్ నేమే డెవాప్స్, లేదా ప్రాసెస్ ఫాలో అవుతున్నాం. ప్రాసెస్ నేమ్ అజైల్. సో హియర్ వాట్ ఎవర్ ద ప్రాసెస్ వీఆర్ ఫాలోయింగ్, దట్ ప్రాసెస్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ డెవాప్స్. ఏంటి ఆ ప్రాసెస్ మనం డెవాప్స్లో ఫాలో అయ్యేది అంటే, DevOps is a methodology in software development and IT industry used as a set of practices and tools. Means here, with a combination of tools, what we are doing, DevOps integrates and automates the work of software development. Ante developers anamata din meaning. DevOps integrates and automate the work of, and automation అనేది చేస్తున్నాం ఇక్కడ, ఏదైతే సాఫ్ట్వేర్ డెవలప్మెంట్ ఉంది అండ్ IT operations. So here we integrating software development and IT operations. Software development and IT operations as a means for improving and shortening the system's development life cycle. The ultimate aim for DevOps is to reduce SDLC, for improving and shortening the SDLC, software development life cycle, to improve this process. So as soon as possible, with the software development life cycle ఏంటి ఉంటుందో, within short time you have to deliver the application with high quality, everything. If you observe here, are we achieving this faster delivery or not with DevOps? Because as soon as sprint 1 is completed, we're deploying that application. Sprint 1 లో application deploy అయిపోయింది అంటే కథం, ఇంకా everyone in the market, they can use the application. In sprint 2, like it's one more enhancement, new version of IRCTC. In sprint 3, one more version of the application. So you can grab whole market here. And at the same time, we are achieving high quality also. How we are achieving high quality? Tell me. Quality బాగుందని ఎట్లా చెప్తున్నాం DevOps లో?
bug free.
Deployment కంటే ముందు అన్ని deploy like we are doing coding and testing and everything, right?
Because of tools.
So
See, tools will not make any mistake, right? Humans may mistake. Manually, if I do anything, first time I may correct, second time I may correct, but third time maybe I will be wrong. But tools is not like that. If you set up the tools, everything correctly, one time setup, if you set up everything properly, then you will definitely see the things properly each and every time, because tools will make any mistake. So in that way, we are achieving high quality and less spending. How we are achieving less spending?
Like DevOps people is doing more work, like apart from
DevOps
doing
engineer, they are
multiple jobs.
replacing. DevOps engineers are replacing build team, operations team, monitoring team, maintenance team. All these teams are replaced by DevOps engineer. So less spending and reduced outages. We are reducing the downtime of the application also here. Means application will not go down, because here, because of CI/CD, continuous integration and continuous deployment, because of these tools, we are achieving CI/CD, and because of CI/CD, you will not see the downtime of the application. Immediately, if application is also down, immediately you will bring back that application. So all these things we are achieving using DevOps methodology. So as of now, waterfall method, whatever we saw, that issues are addressed by Agile. Agile methodology issues are addressed by DevOps. And this is the latest one only, DevOps. There is no advanced technology for DevOps as of now. In future, it may come, but as of now, DevOps is the latest methodology. Okay. So in our course, we are going to discuss DevOps tools. Like once developer written the code, they has to push that code to source code management. Are you aware of GitHub? GitHub? Anyone?
Yes, yes.
So here onwards, I'll start Git classes. I'll show you how to create GitHub account, how to install Git, how to push the Git to GitHub, like everything. We'll be discussing this Git. Tool 1 is Git. Then we'll discuss about build tool Maven. We'll discuss about deployment tool Docker. And one more, like Ansible is also there. We'll discuss Ansible configuration management tool. We'll discuss monitoring tool like CloudWatch, Prometheus. We'll discuss Jenkins, the setup, and we'll discuss Terraform also. Terraform is like creating infrastructure by writing the code. Code rasi code ద్వారా infrastructure ని create చేస్తాం. So this Terraform also we will discuss. So all the tools, whatever involved in DevOps, as a DevOps engineer, see this Selenium, that is not part of DevOps engineer. That belongs to testing. Okay. So whatever are involved with DevOps, that tools will be discussing starting from tomorrow onwards. Any doubts?
Aravind, are we not discussing about Kubernetes?
Kubernetes also.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Fine then.
Thank you all. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.